What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. We hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I am Dom with the Great Man Sauce, and we got Matty, aka Matt's Card Shop, joining us at the top of the show. So, how you going, gents?
Going good, boys. Going good.
Good, Dom. Good.
Saucy.
Yeah, it is good to have him on board. To get him involved and obviously to lead the show, Dom. As you can see, repping my boys here. The Indianapolis Colts.
I've got a college team on here.
I'm repped up. I'm repped up. I'm ready to go.
I don't think you guys want to know what team I go for. So,
yeah, you're Seahawks, aren't you?
Nah, Texans.
You're Texans. Gee.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm not.
Could be a long season.
I got the Cowboys.
Not a long season. It's gonna be a long 3-4 years, boys. So
it is. It is. You might lose your ex.
Yeah,
quarterback to potentially my boys. I'm
a very touchy subject.
That is a very touchy subject. Very touchy. All right, boys. I think we'll get straight into it. Obviously, it's rolling around very quickly. It's going to be this Friday. It is on. We're so excited to have it back. It's going to be great to have full stands packed in the NFL as well, which is going to be fantastic. And we're just going to go through each conference, each division, and then give our predictions. I've even got some stuff here as well when we go through some teams, who's moved where, who's been re-signed, some big names as well. So if you want to make comment on that, feel free to. A few people here. Adam's in, Matty's in, Cosmic's in, the usuals. We love having you. Noah's in as well. He said when season starts, his wax better sell. I think it will. It's going to be a big season and a big time for the hobby for NFL cards. Let's get straight into AFC. We're going to start with my division, AFC East. We've got the Bills, Patriots, Dolphins, and Jets in this conference. What are our thoughts, lads?
I feel like we can rule out the Jets. The Patriots will look a little bit better. That Cam Newton release is huge. Like, I really couldn't believe it. I kind of predicted that Bill Belichick wouldn't stick with Cam Newton in the long term, but to see him actually release him is huge because you still need a backup quarterback at the very least. So I thought that was very interesting. Dolphins with Tua. I know a lot of people are high on Tua. They've got a great team around him, so that will be interesting. And the Bills as well. They're a great team leading on from last season, and I think they were one win away from the Super Bowl as well. So great quarterback in Josh Allen there. So it'll be super. That'll be a great division to look at for the season.
100%. Emmanuel Sanders signed with the Bills. A nice handy pickup there for them as well.
Let me just say, boys, we will bank that one in as a divisional in your multi $1.61. Bank it. That's the Bills division. If they go ahead and lose that division, I'll be, the only way they can lose it is if Josh Allen goes down with serious injury, which, to any quarterback to derail any team's season. But if he stays fit, I think with that Bills defense, they are a shoe-in to finish the top of that division. And that is definitely one that I'll be releasing some out in the Double Coverage Fam Discord server. If you're not involved, make sure you get involved. I'll chuck the link in the description to the Discord server, and invite link. Get involved because in the NFL chat channel, I'm going to chuck a few divisional multis that I'm happy. I'm going the long play. Last season, Dom, I went the week to week. I'm no good at that shit. We knew that. So I packed it up after week 10 and I ended in profit. I was happy to do that. But the divisional multis, I've hit on a few over my years. So I'm more than happy to have a share. And as we always say, Dom, gamble responsibly.
100%. 100%. So I'm going Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets in mine. Yours, lads?
I'm going that order as well. I think that's perfect as well. Yeah. I don't think Mac Jones is going to change enough to maybe push above the Dolphins, but I think that's pretty easy right there.
Very nice. On to the AFC North. We've got the Steelers, the Browns, the Ravens, and the Bengals. Obviously, big pickup this morning for the Ravens, signing Le'Veon Bell. It's a great pickup for them, helping out Lamar Jackson there. So the thoughts on this one, aging Big Ben, Baker, touchdown maker, is touted to have a big season. They got the weapons there in Cleveland. The Ravens, are the Ravens. They're always good. We expect Lamar to take another step. Bengals, unfortunately, myself, I think they will bottom out in that in the group there because Burrow's coming back. He really got no continuity in his play before he did his knee. So, thoughts, lads? This is an interesting one. Very interesting one.
Very competitive division there. Like, again, you've got three great teams and then the Bengals, unfortunately, but three really great competitive teams. The Steelers last season started off 9-0 and then just had a lot of injuries to their defense. So I feel like people are looking at the Ravens and the Browns, but the Steelers, I know Big Ben's sort of aging, but not a bad pick there with the Steelers, but very even between the three. I really couldn't split them between them. I don't know about how you guys see it.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. I know Saucy had a few things to say to me the other day about good old Cleveland Browns.
I'm at the view, where look, I could be completely wrong on this, but he's had one good season, Baker Mayfield. He's had one good season. Now show me that you can back it up, right? Now, am I 100% convinced that he can back it up? No, because you've only shown me it, you can do it on one occasion. I'm going to go with the Ravens. They are $2.20 favorite to win that division on the bookmakers odds. Steelers, look, I'm not even thinking about it because aging Big Ben, he always finds a way to start hobbling around the field. There's always chance of injury. I feel like that 9-0 start sort of, mastered a few of the problems that they were having with certain positions on their team. And then, a few of their top guys went down, as Maddie mentioned, and then they really, really struggled. But I feel like the Ravens are the team to beat. It's between them and the Browns. I did have an interesting conversation with someone on Instagram, Cardboard Cooper, who was talking to me about the Browns and how good their defense is, and if they keep up that sort of defense this season, they're obviously within a shot to take that division as well, which I think it's more on the offensive side of the ball that they have an issue. That I'm still not sold on Baker Mayfield, but I tell you what, people buying his cards are pretty sold because, before the start of last season, you could have bought his base 10, his PSA Prism base 10, around $200, and it hasn't even fallen, past 350. So it's still up massively, 75% from, the beginning of last season, where it started around there. I think it was even lower than that. It hasn't even dropped past 350. So, people believe in him. There's only 887 in the pop. So an interesting one. But I'm not sure if I'd be going into his cards. I'm Lamar, man. I'm a Lamar man. I've picked up his select PSA 10. The concourse, I believe, the version. I get confused between the concourse and the Premier, but one of them. I picked it up for a decent price. I think I paid $200 USD. It's already up. I just picked it up at the right time in the market. And, if he has a flying start to the start of the season, I'll tell you what, I'm not a big NFL guy. I'll be selling the card. But I think that's an opportunity there. So I'm going with the Ravens to take out this division. I will, in my divisional multis, do a bit of a thing where I put one with Ravens, one with the Browns, because I think they're the two teams that are going to take out this division. I just don't believe in the Steelers. And Bengals, they're not worth mentioning.
Fair enough. Maddie?
Yeah, I'd personally go Browns first. I think the thing with Baker Mayfield is he had a great rookie season. He actually broke the touchdown record, and then Justin Herbert's taken that last season. So went into his second season with a completely new coach who was terrible. They fired him, and then third season with a completely new coach again. So he's had three coaches. I think he's got that continuity now, and I think Kevin Stefanski, who's the coach of the Browns, has shown that he's a pretty good coach as well. So hopefully with a full training camp with the new coach, he can really lock down the whole system there and everything. So, yeah, I'm going to go Browns first. I'll go Ravens second, Steelers third, and then, the Bengals, unfortunately, fourth. And side note, I do feel a little bit sorry for Joe Burrow because I feel like he's just not set up in that situation well. Like, I really love him as a person. That whole speech at the Heisman Trophy and everything was great. But, yeah, that offensive line, he just gets one more long-term injury and people are just going to be so down on him. And I just feel like he's probably the person that you don't want to get injured again. He's just that likable as an athlete. So, yeah, just a little bit of a side note there with Joe Burrow.
Completely agree with you. I've gone the exact same as you. I've gone Cleveland, Ravens, Steelers, Bengals. Saucy's gone Ravens, Cleveland, Steelers, Bengals.
We've copied each other for both of them.
Yeah, both of us are on the ball when Saucy's just been what's the kiss of death going the opposite of the both of us. AFC South, we've got the Titans, Colts, Jags, and the Texans. Your boys, Matty. This is a interesting division here. So, thoughts on it?
We can rule out the Texans.
Yeah.
First up, it's going to be between the Titans and the Colts. I will lean towards the Titans just because I do trust Ryan Tannehill a little bit more than Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is just so injury prone. I mean, there was even questions about him starting week 1, but he's eventually made it back in, which is good. But yeah, I just feel like the Titans are set up very well. Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, Julio Jones. It's a ridiculously good team and great coaching as well. So I'm going Titans, Colts second, Jaguars third. Trevor Lawrence will be great to watch as well. Followed his journey for a long, long while, but again, I just don't feel like he's going to show too much this year. Situation's not great in Jacksonville, but he'll show glimpses. I just don't think people should jump on him right now. Again, he's also never lost in high school or college. So one loss in the professional leagues. How is he going to deal with that adversity? That's something I really want to know because everyone's a bit different with that. So yeah, Jaguars third and Texans fourth, unfortunately, with our QB situation.
Yeah. Well, I think actually the only loss he ever had was
Pre-season?
the Burrow in the national championship.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, you're all right. Yeah.
I think that's the only time he ever lost. He never lost another game in his whole tenure as the starting QB for Clemson, which is phenomenal. And I'm with you, Matty. This is like a completely different ball game. You're not coming up and bullying teams and doing that type of stuff like you were doing in college. This is the big boy leagues. And he's in a pretty, tough spot because the two teams on top of him, the Titans and the Colts, are going to be very, very good. So I'm interested to see you, Saucy, here. Your boys, where you put them.
Look, I'll tell you what. I don't think I can. As much as I want the Colts to get out of this division, I'm not sold on. I'm with Matty. I'm not sold on Carson Wentz. But I want them to do well. But I'm not sold on them. I need to see that he can get back to some of that form that he showed in Philly in his first season, where he played really, really well. And he hasn't shown anything really since that point. Just injuries, and when he did come back and did play, he was very, very average. Is the match, bringing him back with his old coach where he had his best form of his career, is that going to help him? Not sure. So look, I'm going to have to go with Titans. I mean, Matty Campbell does say, King Henry going for 2,000 yards this rushing this season, and I would have to tend to agree, man. Henry is an absolute monster. Tannehill, as much as he's not a brilliant quarterback, he's not an elite quarterback, but he's a very, he does the tangibles well. He doesn't make, a heap of mistakes, which is what you need. And, when you've got a beast like that, Henry, you just feed the beast. Yeah, let's be honest. Get it there, get the ball moving, get the yards ticking over, get the downs happening, and make it tough for the opposition. Control the game. If they can get that sort of game style going more often than not, I think they'll be tough to beat in that division. And as I said, I'm not sold on the Colts. I'm not sold on Wentz mainly. And if he does go down, the backup, I'm not sure who it is.
Jacob Eason.
There we go. Eason. There, people are trying to buy up his cards, and look, I don't know. I don't know if either of them are good. I mean, Wentz at his best, he's good quarterback, but can he get back?
He
to
won the
best?
MVP.
Yeah,
until he had that injury, and then Nick Foles ended up taking the Super Bowl. But yeah, that's the thing. He's reuniting with his former coach, former offensive coordinator. So that'll be very interesting. But I trust his ability to get back to form. It's the injury history that's just that's a bit of a red flag.
I'm going to change it up from you boys here. I'm assuming you're going Titans, Colts, Jags, Texans. I'm actually putting my money on your boy Sauce to actually win the division. I put a lot of money into it. Might be for the fact that I put a lot of money into Michael Pittman Jr. and Jonathan Taylor. So I'm just hoping that it comes up trumps, and I'm expecting a big breakout season for Taylor. To be honest, I reckon he's a very, very, very good player.
The Colts do have a lot of like budget players that you can buy up, like Paris Campbell, Michael Pittman Jr., Jonathan Taylor. So they are a team that, and Jacob Eason as well. He's quite cheap as well. So a lot of players in that team that people are hyping up and hoping that they can potentially break out. It's just seeing if they can actually put it together.
Exactly. Next up, we've got the AFC West, and that's the Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, and the Broncos.
Surely we keep this one short. It doesn't. Do we really need to go in depth on this? Chiefs $1.33. Bank that in with the Bills $1.33 and the Chiefs. Bank it. There you got two. There's a few bankers, so that's another one of my bankers. Absolute banker $1.33. As long if my homeboy gets injured, like with any quarterback, you're going to be in trouble. But I tell you what, everyone in that division has got no chance.
Agreed. Like the Broncos do look, I mean, they didn't play too well last season. I think they're going to be a massive sleeper team, but they had so many injuries to their team. And at one point even had their practice squad wide receiver filling for quarterback and he completed one pass in that game. So, but even then, like they've got Teddy Bridgewater now, who's pretty mediocre. So, but in terms of their defense, they've really got an elite defense. Great receivers in Jerry Jeudy. Cortland Sutton's coming back from an ACL injury. They're going to be interesting as well. But I don't think you can go past the Chiefs at all.
So I think we're both going Chiefs, Chargers. Anyone want to swap Raiders and Broncos?
I probably wouldn't have Chargers second. Actually, I'd probably have them. I'd almost have them last. Yeah,
really?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'd probably go Chiefs. Second place, that's a bit hard. I'd probably go Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders, Chargers. It's a tough division as well in terms of the bottom three. I'm not saying Chargers going to be like obviously last, but I do believe in the Broncos and the Raiders a bit more. Yeah, I just don't believe in the Chargers. New coach, just got to figure it out a little bit more.
I'm just going to put something out there, and people that watch the NFL, watch any professional sports, know probably what I'm about to say about Justin Herbert, and it's a lot of these guys get second-year blues, and that's because there's enough tape on them now to get shut down in their second season. So the big test for Justin Herbert is not what he did last year, because no one had the playbook on Justin Herbert, so he was literally just tearing everyone to shreds. The fact that they've had time to analyze his game, work out the defense, all that stuff in the offseason. The test of a great player is how well he deals with adversity going into this season once he's found out. So if he can adapt his play and he can excel and take the step to the next level, then I'm sold on him. But at the moment, I'm telling people, sell you Herbert. If you genuinely reckon he's going to be like, keep whatever, but not all of them. But I reckon his price in the market, honestly, he's at the ceiling at the moment. It's at the ceiling. It can't go any higher, surely, this year. But funny things do happen, and never say never. A quick one for the AFC. That rounds out the AFC. Predictions to win the conference.
Chiefs.
Matty's going Chiefs.
Chiefs, Ravens in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, I'd go Chiefs versus Bills. Is that what happened last season as well? I think.
Yeah, it was Bills.
Yeah,
I'm actually going Bills to the Super Bowl.
Love it.
So
Josh Allen's super exciting. Can't fault that.
Let's go. NFC. This is going to be interesting. So my favorite division in football, the NFC East, which could be just every game is a poo bowl. We've got Washington, the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Eagles. This is going to be tough.
Cowboys are the favorites on the bookies odds. 225 to win the division.
I'm going Washington on top.
I'd go Washington on top as well.
Their defense is unbelievable.
Probably one of the best in the NFL.
Their defense alone will win them games. So
Washington, isn't that Kirk Cousins?
No, Kirk Cousins at Minnesota. Washington's
Okay.
Fitzmagic now, so
Yeah,
that's going to be very
yeah.
interesting.
Here we
'cause
go.
They had Dwayne Haskins last
He
season.
had a good start to the season last year at Miami, and then obviously got, they put in Tua, but he was doing really well. So why can't Fitzmagic lead that? It's going to be, you win 7 games, you can win that division. Seriously.
They made it with a negative record last year as well, or last season. It was like 7-10 or 7-9 or something, and they made it in. Like, ridiculous.
Maddie says Fitzmagic or Fitzspastic in the. I don't know. I hope his beard's even longer. It's going to be. I'm not putting in the Cowboys second in this division. I'm going to take a punt. I'm putting Giants second. I know it's a big punt, but I'm just going to put some faith in Daniel Jones and that team. Saquon Barkley back.
Yeah.
I actually have zero confidence in the Dallas Cowboys. Zero confidence.
They're the most hyped up team every season just because of their fan base. So I'll go Washington first. I'll go Giants second. I just feel like Daniel Jones, hopefully in this third season, if he does brush up on his mistakes, their defense actually wasn't too bad last season. But yeah, I'll go Cowboys third, Eagles fourth. With Jalen Hurts, the whole Gardner Minshew thing, I don't think they have 100% trust in Jalen Hurts. So I feel a little bit sorry for all those investors or buyers in him, because if you're getting Gardner Minshew, who's one of the best backups traded just before the season, it's a pretty big insurance plan. So as a Gardner Minshew collector, full disclaimer, I'm also excited about that, because that's showing that, they're not trusting Jalen Hurts completely. So I can see an opportunity for Gardner to, potentially start. But that was just a little bit of a side thing with that.
Definitely. Saucy, your thoughts on this one?
I'm going Washington to win the division. We'll go with Cowboys. I don't really know where the issues with Dak and his shoulder. It's not 100% still. So with no confidence that I don't think they'll win the division. And then Giants and Eagles.
Nice. NFC North: Packers, Vikings, Bears, Lions.
Top 3 look pretty even. The Lions will be a dead last, I feel like, but Packers, Vikings with that great defense. Packers, Aaron Rodgers can't really rule him out, and then Bears have great defense. I think the Bears situation is very interesting. They've named Andy Dalton the starter, but Justin Fields, I feel like, will eventually give him a few games. I think the Bears in the first game as well, playing the Rams. So I think the Rams being the best defense, you probably don't want to put Justin Fields straight up against that defense, ruin his confidence, and then he's behind a few games already. So, I'm probably going to go Packers into Vikings, the Bears, the Lions. The Vikings and Bears would probably be interchangeable, but that's going to be mine.
Saucy?
Yeah, I'm going to go Packers. I'm putting that in as a banker. There's 4 bankers that I think, and I think Packers is one of them.
What's their odds?
$1.61 to win the division. Minnesota's second at $3.75, Bears $6, and then Detroit $26. So you can rule them out. I just Aaron Rodgers, MVP season last year, controversy whether he's coming back or not. Obviously got his his sidemen to do the dirty work and sort of get them to pull the strings and get what he wanted. So I think he's going to, prove a point, come out here, win that division. I think they'll win the division comfortably. I don't see how they literally don't. Look, as I said, comes down to Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, they win the division.
100%. So I think we're all set on the same thing: Packers, Vikings, Bears, Detroit for that one. Off to the NFC South, and this is an interesting one.
Got a lot easier for him. A lot easier, obviously, with the retirement of Drew Brees.
Yeah, I know. Buccaneers, Saints, Falcons, Panthers.
Yeah, I know Jameis Winston wasn't too great on the Bucs, but I think Sean Payton is such a great coach that there's that small opportunity that he might turn it around. I know they put a lot of faith into him. I will go Buccaneers first, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints came first and then the Buccaneers obviously perform well in the playoffs. And then I'll go Saints second. Third, I'd go Panthers. And then fourth, I'd go the Falcons. Yeah, Falcons, they started off pretty poorly last season, but actually ended up winning a couple games in the end. I think they got pick 4, got Kyle Pitts. So
don't talk to me about the Falcons. They were a team that I put on the line so many times last year, and they cost me. They just cost me, And there was a few games where they blew, second half leads, or they blew leads in the fourth quarter. Double digit leads going into the fourth quarter with double digit leads, and blowing it. They just did my head in because they had talent on that team, but they just couldn't piece it together. But I think the Buccaneers, it's going to be too strong in this division. I'll put that in as my banker. There's 4 bankers that I've got. It's the Chiefs, Bills, Bucks, and the Packers that are definitely bankers. And, if you just put those 4 in, that's going to get you $5. And then I think that's where you throw around a few other things in there. The Ravens maybe in one, or the Washington in another one that will bump the odds up. So you play around with it. But I think those 4 are pretty much a shoo-in my opinion. I've done this a few times where we'll try to pick out 3 or 4 shoo-ins on the divisions that I think. And I'll tell you what, it's turned out for me very well on a number of occasions. But
so
as I say,
who you going there, Sauce? Bucks, Saints?
Yeah, Bucks. It doesn't matter because I don't think any other teams are going to be good enough. Like, let's be honest, Jameis Winston didn't show much when he was starting previously, and does he have it now? Let's see. Is he going to turn over the ball 50 times in the season? Let's see. He's got an arm on him, let me tell you. But is his decision making good? That's the question.
100%, but I'm going Saints. I'm going Saints.
I don't fault that
Panthers,
either. I can definitely see that. Like with the Saints, I could see the Saints winning. Sean Payton's one of the best coaches in the NFL, and did the same thing with Drew Brees, where his career looked like it was going down, and sort of revived that as well. So I'm not saying Jameis Winston is the same ability as Drew Brees, but you just never know in the NFL, and he's got that talent. It's more just if you can get 30 touchdowns, just reduce the 30 interceptions. So it's a decision making, and we'll just hope and see what happens for there. But I can definitely see the Saints coming first.
I don't want to start doubting goats, and I really don't. I don't want to start doubting goats, but I think we're gonna start seeing old Father Time creep up on TB12 this season. I've just got a feeling. That's why I'm going Saints to win it. You can't maintain that level of play, and he's definitely dropped off dramatic. I know he won a Super Bowl, but he had one of the best offensive lines in the whole of the NFL. And the Chiefs had some big injuries going into that Super Bowl as well. So I'm just putting it out there. I don't like doubting goats because I've doubted goats before and I've been proven completely wrong. I doubted LeBron a couple of times and he went and he won it. But I don't know. I'm just saying he's going to drop a step. And the last one, NFC West, 49ers, Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals.
Good division.
Honestly, yeah, it's a very good division. Like, to pick last place in that is really hard because, I'd probably say the Cardinals now, but yeah, if Kyler Murray and that team work it out, they've got DeAndre Hopkins, they've got JJ Watt. It's a very interesting division for sure. I'm going to go Rams first. I'm confident of that. After that, Seahawks, and then 49ers, Cardinals, but that's going to be so even. That's probably the most even.
The bookies have the 49ers and the Rams as favorites to win that division equally.
Okay.
So it's an interesting one, and I don't know the whole situation in San Francisco. Whether is Jimmy G going to be the starter? There was a bit of dispute as to which QB was going to start out. I'm always happy to take a punt on Russell Wilson, and I'll take a punt on him again here. And I liked him last season. I don't know if they've fixed their issues with the offensive line, which has been massively, huge issues in previous seasons where they just go out and, Pete Carroll just doesn't want to get.
So I'll tell you some of the people that They picked up cornerback Akello Witherspoon. They signed tight end Gerald Everett. Re-signed Nick Ballor. Re-signed Ethan Pocic. Re-signed Chris Carson. Re-signed edge defender Benson Mayowa. And signed edge defender Kerry Hyder. And that is it. Then they cut Carlos Dunlap, they cut Josh Gordon, and they cut Greg Olsen. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm actually going to go out on a limb here, and this is the craziest prediction I've had out of all of it. It is going to be Rams, 49ers, Cardinals, and the Seahawks won't make the playoffs because Russell Wilson will be out the door at the end of the season. He'll be at a new team in 2023. 2022. That's what's going to happen. He won't be there. And honestly, it's a coin flip between the 49ers and the Cardinals, if you ask me. I genuinely reckon that quarterback problem is going to be can literally turn a locker room toxic and can become a problem. And if they go to Trey Lance, what's to say Trey Lance is as good as Jimmy Garoppolo? He's never played a game in the NFL before. Jimmy Garoppolo, albeit he had a really good team, he has played in a Super Bowl. So I reckon the Rams are clear outright winners in this one, and I genuinely reckon the Cardinals could pip second spot. But I'm sticking with 49ers at the moment. I just don't reckon Seattle will win it. I think this will be it, and Russell Wilson will have to be fighting for his life, dodging defenses constantly, and he's just going to be fed up with it. And him and the coach, Pete Carroll, will be parting ways at the end of the season.
Big call. I just hope for for Trey Lance's sake, like they actually don't bring him in this season. Like just have that year behind because he's quite raw, but I do think he's almost got the highest ceiling out of all those rookie quarterbacks. So yeah, let Jimmy G in for this season. If he is that bad, maybe at the end of the season or something like that. It's depending on how the team goes, but don't risk your potential franchise quarterback that early. I think he's just really raw. So yeah, that's the reason I had Seahawks above him because I do trust Russell Wilson way more than Jimmy G. And I'm not obviously predicting that they'll part ways like you did, Doma. But yeah, if Russell Wilson just has the right team around him, that's always the thing every year, though. That's the main frustrations that he doesn't have everything around him. And yeah, I think that's why he's been the subject of a lot of trade. He wasn't the subject of trade rumors a few months ago, which is why he had a bit of a boost in his card prices. So yeah, with Russ, I actually, funnily enough, another prediction that I did, I actually had him potentially winning the MVP as well. If it's not this year, he definitely has to win one soon. The MVP is a narrative award in American sports. You don't typically have the true MVP winning it every season. Same with the NBA. LeBron probably could win it every season if we had to, but you want to get Giannis one, you want to get Harden one. So I think with Russell Wilson, he's a certainty to go into the Hall of Fame. You can't. Yeah, I think he's just going to have to get given one by the media. It's a media-voted award as well. So yeah. I feel like they're just going to pump him up, be like Russ Wilson's cooking. He was on track last season, dropped off. Aaron Rodgers came through in the end. Seahawks also dropped off as well. So, yeah, I think in the future, hopefully the next couple of years, I think he's going to have a great career. Like he's still got heaps more years to go as well because I was listening to a podcast and he spends about 7 figures on his body as well, like Tom Brady, like LeBron. So he's going to have a bit of longevity in his career as well. So definitely you can see that with Russ Wilson. And I know Saucy loves him as well. So yeah, great player.
So Saucy, you've probably got the Seahawks winning the division.
I'm going to put him up there. All right, it'd be nothing better than to Russ to come out here and show them what he's made of, and then at the end of the season, as you say, just go, see you later, give him the 2-finger salute, and out the door I go and say, who wants me? I'm still one of the best quarterbacks, top 5 quarterbacks in this league.
So who are you going here? Are you going to go then?
I'm going to go the Seahawks, Rams, 49ers, and I look. I think the Cardinals. I think you're right. You're actually, yeah. It's a tough division. Really, it is a tough division. Like I'm saying the Cardinals are going to be last, but I'm only going on the bookies odds. I'm telling you, I'm not saying because Kyler Murray showed promise last season. They've improved that defense. Obviously, as Matty mentioned, they got JJ Watt. He got out of that cesspool that was unfortunately Texans. Sorry, Matty, but it doesn't seem to be a good place for developing people. And unfortunately for them, they're going to miss out on one of the best defensive players. Or not that he can get on the park a hell of a lot. He does suffer from injuries a shitload, but when he is out there, he's a monster. But yeah, look, I'm putting them at the back based off the bookies odds, and I'm going to say it's out of the other three, but I think it's out of Seahawks and Rams. But I'm going to go Seahawks. But I'll tell you what, in my multi, I'm staying away from that division. I'm not putting them in there. I think that is way too hard to choose. Toughest division, I reckon.
By far.
NFC prediction. Who wins the NFC?
I'm going to go Rams. So I really do love the Rams. But probably the best defense. They did quite well in the playoffs last season with Jared Goff, who's a mediocre quarterback. Matt Stafford, I know people are hyping him. He doesn't win too many games in Detroit, but look at what was around him. He didn't really have that greatest help around him. So I think he's got the perfect situation. Sean McVay as well with Jared Goff was actually running plays because he was trying to hide a lot of his deficiencies as well. So I think with Matt Stafford, he's seen a lot more. He's got that experience. So hopefully he can actually have a quarterback that can let loose and unleash. And I love Aaron Donald as well. So great defense, great offense. It's hopefully a great pairing. So I've actually got them winning the Super Bowl as well. So
dang, all right, nice. I'll put
mine.
that down. I was going to ask you that. So Rams to win the Super Bowl for Maddie as well. Saucy, NFC, who wins it?
It's a tough one. I'm with you. I think the Buccaneers are going to get back to the championship game, but I don't think they're going to be able to win it. I don't think they make the Super Bowl. I'm going to go with. I'm going to have to agree here with Maddie a little bit on the Rams, but I'm going to go with the Packers. I'm going to go with the Packers. Aaron Rodgers to go one better here than last season. Go a bit deeper, get to the NFC, and get to the Super Bowl. And there's nothing more than I'd love to see in the Super Bowl, which is either the Packers in one side and against Mahomes on the other, or my boy Lamar Jackson, who I love watching. I think he's a gun. People are underestimating him.
Who are you picking to win the Super Bowl? Are you going Chiefs or Packers? Because they're your two conference champions, Saucy.
I think overall the Chiefs have a better side than the Packers.
Nice. I'm going Packers to win the NFC and the Packers to win the Super Bowl. So, interesting. So, Saucy's gone Chiefs to win it all, Maddie's gone Rams to win it all, and I've gone Packers to win it all.
We'll review this at the end of the season and see how wrong we are.
We will. I'll put some stuff out on the socials as well with our picks and stuff. And before we do finish up, let's quickly run through week one. We just read out the games. Opening night is Cowboys, Buccaneers. Then we got Jags at Texans, Chargers at Washington, Seahawks at Colts, Jets at Panthers, Vikings at Bengals, Cardinals at Titans, 49ers at Lions, Steelers at Bills, Eagles at Falcons, Browns at Chiefs. That is going to be a ripper. Tune into that one. Packers at Saints, another big one. Broncos at Giants, Dolphins at Patriots, Bears at Rams, and the Ravens at the Raiders. That's week one done and dusted. Predictions done and dusted. Thank you very much, Maddie. We really do appreciate you joining us.
All good, boys. Anytime at all.
We'll probably get you on throughout the season. We can discuss a few things, and you can be our resident NFL man, giving us the tips, even in the card market, and what's happening there as well, which would be great. So
all good, boys. Thanks for having me on. Just another thing before I head off. Side note: tomorrow's Are You OK Day, so it's a holiday aimed at mental health, and we're all struggling a little bit here in lockdown, especially if you're in Australia. So just check in with your mates, check in with yourself during this tough period, and make sure you're doing all right. Use the hobby as an escape, and hopefully you guys are all doing well during this tough period, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Love it, Maddie.
Well said, Maddie. Good stuff. Thank you very much, and take care. Awesome stuff. Well said by Maddie there. Definitely check on your mates. The hobby is a great way to keep your mind off things, meet new people, and stay in a positive space. All right, Sauce, moving on.
Doma, before we move on, let me just rip this pack. In preparation of NFL season, I'm ripping a pack. Optic fat pack. Let's see what I get.
You get it downtown, I'll buy it off you right now on the show.
I have no idea who the hell that is.
I'll
It's
buy
all
it.
about the rookies. Let's be honest.
I can't even see who you're getting here. Is that
Yeah,
Mike
because
Evans?
the lighting isn't very good.
Can't even tell.
Julian Edelman. Plus,
Oh,
I think I've
there's a green.
hang on.
Who's that? The hits are in the middle.
Rookie
Don't forget.
Tristan Riffs, and then Calvin Charlson. We got a Sterling Shepherd. No idea who that bloke is.
Sterling Shepherd's all right.
Drew Lock and Russell Wilson, T.Y. Hilton, Kyler Murray, couple of base, not bad, but nothing special.
Not bad overall. Shit. So thank you. Good stuff, Sauce. Let's move on. AFL is on the cards here. Semi-finals. Cats beat the Giants, Sauce 103-68. It was a given.
We did say that. We did say that, Doma, that Toby Green has cost his team the game. Let's be honest.
There was
made a massive difference
in that game where he would have made a massive difference. There's times in that game where anything could have happened for the Giants, but obviously the Cats were too good. And then the second game was the Lions versus the Dogs, which was one of the best games of the season, let alone one of the classic finals games. What can I say? The Dogs and the Lions battled it out. Lions have once again lost on home soil at the Gabba. Since
Lockie Neal on the way out.
Yep, Lockie Neal's on the way out since that loss. They're going to be a different side next year, it looks like. A bit's going to change. The Dogs, on the other hand, Bont copped a knock to his knee. Scans seem to be all right. So he looks like he will suit up and play. They are losing Cody Waitman, who is that forward pressure. And the kid's a gun source. I know he caught flack.
Cody free kick Waitman.
Yeah, that's fine. You can give him Cody free kick Waitman. I don't care. I genuinely reckon this kid is a star, an absolute star. He is so good. His pressure's unbelievable in the forward 50. He snags goals. He went off, and Sauce, I genuinely thought they were going to struggle to kick goals, the Dogs. But they found a way. Bailey Smith put in one of the all-time performances in his career. Kicked 4, I'm pretty sure, in this game, or 3, and he just dominated. So the Doggies will go into the prelims, which are this week. As you know, Sauce, the winner of this, anyone that's listening, if you don't know, the winner of these 2 games will go to the big dance, the AFL Grand Final, which is going to be at night this year, Sauce, at 7:50 p.m., I think, or 7:30 p.m. It's a bit odd. Can't get shit-faced during the day, Sauce, because you won't be awake to see the Grand Final. And we'll probably be in lockdown anyway, so you won't be watching jack shit with your mates. D's versus Cats. Who are we going?
D's. I said D's are going to win it all, so I'm going to stick fat here, mate.
I can't believe they've gone over 12.5 wins, and they potentially could win the flag. I'm going the D's as well. Port Adelaide, Western Bulldogs.
Port.
I'm also going Port because, as you know, I've tipped them to win the flag. Anything's going to happen here, Sauce. It should be Melbourne and Port Adelaide, unless Geelong pulls out one of those games where they kick 8 goals in a quarter somehow and just stifle their opposition and, well, really cause the upset here. And the Dogs, vice versa, they need a miracle to probably beat this Port Adelaide team. Their forwards are not good enough to handle Port Adelaide's defenders, in my opinion. They're just not good enough. They're not up to scratch. So there you go, Sauce. Melbourne to win and Port to win for both of us in this week's games. Moving on, Sauce. Premier League back this week. And boy, are we excited. I think I'm probably more excited than anyone else, but unless you're another fellow.
I'm not excited, Doma, because we are absolutely shocking.
Mate, you play Norwich, mate, at home.
And we have a good chance of losing.
Maybe we should watch that on the watch party instead of the United game.
No, don't be stupid.
No, we're not.
Even I want to watch the United game.
Yeah, I know. Let's get to them. On Saturday, we got Palace versus Spurs. Then we got Arsenal versus Norwich, Brentford versus Brighton, Leicester versus City, which is a fantastic game. Southampton, West Ham, Watford, Wolves, Chelsea, Villa, Leeds, Liverpool, Everton, Burnley, and the game of the week, even though Leicester Man City is probably the game of the week to watch, is obviously the Manchester United versus Newcastle United game at Old Trafford, and looks like Ronaldo will be starting in his return to Manchester United. Now, this could have shades of a fizzer sauce, like Newcastle could come in and just shut us up, but I'm not looking at that. Ronaldo's back. We're excited. The stadium is going to be rocking. It's going to be crazy. Insane scenes. I'm so excited for this. I genuinely am so excited for this. Hopefully Donny van de Beek plays. That's all I'm really hoping for. Not really Ronaldo playing. I want Donny out there, mate. We need him out there. I don't want Fred. If Fred lines up, we're in trouble. We're going to watch party this. We're going to watch this Man United versus Liverpool game and probably follow it into Napoli versus Juventus as Lukey and Dan square off against each other in that game. So look out for it on Saturday. Come in, join us, watch it live, have a laugh, and obviously, as you know, Sauce, it always goes left on these watch parties.
Goes left when it gets late. I'll tell you what, it's the late night watch party. It goes left.
We get a bit delirious, Sauce, and we don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes we say things and we're scared we're going to get cancelled. Next up, F1s. We had the Dutch Grand Prix off the grid. If you want to see that, definitely tune into that. We had a laugh on there throughout the weekend. This race was boring as batshit sauce. Let's not beat around the bush. Verstappen wins this by 20 seconds over Lewis Hamilton. Valtteri Bottas third, who is now moved to Alfa Romeo during the week. Pierre Gasly fourth. Fifth is Charles Leclerc. Fernando Alonso in sixth. Sainz in seventh. Perez in eighth. Ocon in ninth. And Lando Norris in 10th. With Bottas out the door, in comes Georgie Russell, which was announced, which is great for him. The driver standings are as follows. Max, 224.5 points, 3 points ahead of Hamilton on 221.5. Then we got Bottas on 123, Lando on 114, Sergio Perez on 108, Leclerc 92, Sainz 89.5, Gasly 66, Ricciardo 56, and Fernando Alonso 46. That rounds out the top 10. And then in the constructors, in front by 12 points, Mercedes on top, Red Bull second on 332.5. Then we've got Ferrari, McLaren, Alpine, AlphaTauri, Aston Martin, Williams, Alfa Romeo, and Haas to round it out. Now, Sauce, we have the trio of races finishing this weekend. In Italy, we have a Monza this weekend. Stay tuned for Off the Grid on Sunday night, Australian time. So check your local guides for that one, which will be very, very good. All right, Saucy, got any comments on that race? There's one thing you don't need to talk about. Yeah, it was. There's one thing I don't want you to talk about because you just leave that to me because I got someone on my hit list coming up for.
Yeah, it was a very boring race. I mean, credit to Verstappen. He had the pace throughout qualifying. Finished on top in terms of qualifying, and then first off the grid. And Red Bull managed that race perfectly. They couldn't have really done any better. Hamilton didn't have the pace to even get close to him. I think he was pretty much 4 seconds behind the whole race. Barely had a chance. And managed well by Red Bull Racing Team and Max Verstappen.
Definitely. All right, Sauce, on to you. Bit of UFC.
UFC action, Donna. Let me just get the card up. Hang on. Probably should have had this prepared earlier. All right, UFC. It was fight night. Brunson versus Till. Tuned into a few of these fights. Now here we go. We're gonna run through the main card as I usually do. Right. Run through the main card. What's that? Oh, there's a bit of a break. So then there's a bit of a break before the next card. All right. Lightweight division. Here we go. Paddy Bimlet. I think he's out of Britain against
this guy,
Luigi Vedramini.
I was in no contest.
Old mate Paddy Bimlet dominated him. Unbelievable knockout. And get him on your radar. First professional fight in the UFC. Has an MMA record of 17-3. I believe he probably came from Bellator MMA, which is, the British version of MMA over there. Obviously, UFC is the big boys, the main arena, main comp that you want to be in. First fight, and I'll tell you what, he finished with an absolute killer of a knockout. And get him on your radar, ladies and gentlemen. He's another one with Ignacio. I can't remember the Chilean guy. I've got him named down, Ignacio something. I sent him the other week. When they release cards of these two guys, definitely a buy. He's young, up and coming in the lightweight division. And I mean, if he's got knockout power like that and knockout technique like that, boy, oh boy, yeah, he's going to make for exciting fights, which is what you want. Then the light heavyweight, you had Khalil Roundtree Jr. with a KO over Modestas Bukakis. And then you had Alex Morono, third round decision over David Zawada. Then you heavyweight division, Tom Aspinall against Sergey Spivak. Dominated him. Watch this fight. Aspinall just mauled him. KO in the first round, Doma. And then the main fight, Derrick Brunson against Darren Till. Watch this fight. Brunson dominated him. Brunson literally dominated Darren Till. Look, when the fight was on standing, Till had, he was more agile, he was quicker, but Brunson, he was able to change up his levels really well, come in at different angles, and Till had no answers to his takedowns. Literally no answers. Every round, he got him in a takedown. In the end, ended up making him submit. What can I say? It was domination, absolute domination. He went for 3 rounds. Third round got him to submit. First 2 rounds, Derrick Brunson won both those rounds. It ended up on the floor with Derrick Brunson, ground and pounding him. It was just a complete and utter domination. And the next card, Doma, is on the 19th of September. So it's fight night. Smith versus Spahn in the light heavyweight division. Anthony Smith obviously has had a few wins recently, coming back off a few losses. He won his previous fight, and he won his previous fight before that. So he's back in the octagon against Ryan Spahn on the 19th. There's no other cards on that one, but that's the main card, and then there'll probably be more fights to be announced. But that was it, Doma. UFC.
Very nice. Pedro's here. Good to have him along. He said, anyone else want to see boxing, make a comment. Now, Pedro, you're new to listening to our podcast. We said this a fair few months ago. We will talk about boxing to an extent, Saucy and I said, but we will not start covering boxing extensively until our good friend Dana White takes over. Simple as that. I really do respect what Dazen Boxing's doing. Not for anything, got some quality bouts on their cards and stuff, but we're not really too interested at the moment. We'll cover some of the main guys like Ryan Garcia and your Anthony Joshua's and Tyson Fury, but we're not going to start getting into it. I love the sport. I do watch it, but it's a freaking shambles. Maddie says, Paddy the baddie, so raw, just speed. 100%. He's got shades of Conor McGregor to him, Sauce. There's a bit of Conor McGregor feel about this kid. He talks a bit of shit. We like that. He can back it up. He talks the talk and he walks the walk. And that's what generates money, not just for the UFC, but for himself. Confidence. And he's got a lot of it.
I like it.
So we'll see where
he's on the radar, Doma. He's on the radar. He's in the notebook, mate, for potential drops of cards out of next season's Prism and
definitely
Select. So we'll see how we go.
Definitely. All right, Sauce. Le Mans of the week.
Toma, now, we tuned in off the grid,
We have to
F1, and as we mentioned before, it was a bit of a boring race.
Oh, it was boring, right?
It was boring, but as you do, you sit around and you watch a few of the the post race interviews, and something
Something
caught your
annoyed me.
ear. Something
annoyed
caught
me,
your
Sauce.
ear.
I'll paint the
What
picture
was it?
for you. Ladies and gents,
Speak
I'll
to me.
paint the picture for you. This was just so annoying. Off the grid, fantastic. One of the best, the best Formula One podcast out there. I'm putting it out there. I'm saying that. You can put the hit on me. But boring as batshit, as Saucy said. We stayed there 72 laps. We did what we had to do, Sauce. We love watching it. Bit of banter amongst the five of us. Race ends. DJ Tiesto's waving the checkered flag. That G'd me up. Then Max gets out of his car, home Grand Prix. Dutch are going absolutely bonkers. Flares everywhere. Maxi walks behind the pit wall, gives DJ Tiesto a hug. Tiesto's getting heaps of limelight. We're loving it. Then we're talking in the background, and I was half listening to Lewis while talking with the group on Off the Grid. This was live. We were live. And then Lewis said something that I may or may not have lost the plot on for about 10 minutes. And I had to end the stream for the fact that we said to each other, we got to probably end it or Dom's going to go on for an hour here, just losing his marbles. The boys didn't catch it. We watched it back. I told them what happened, and they were just in shock. The Saucy said in the F1 segment, Verstappen was too good. 4-second lead over Lewis Hamilton for the whole race. Lewis was no chance of catching him. No chance. Gets up there, gets interviewed. Sauce is talking, he gets up there and great race and does his usual Lewis Hamilton thing. And it's fine. He's up there like this. This is how he gets up there. It was a great race. He's smiling like this. It was such a great race. And, it was so good. And I'm just so happy about the way that it ended, finishing second. And it's like, okay, that's nice. And then the question is like, oh, yeah, you qualified second. And how was it trying to get past Max at the beginning of the race? Because that was Sauce. Let's be frank here. Like, that was the only opportunity he had of passing Verstappen.
Yeah.
And it was on the first lap. And not for anything, after it got to corner 3, he was like 2 seconds ahead of Hamilton. It was pretty much finished.
Yeah.
So Lewis carries on and he says, this is why I can't like him. I genuinely can't like him. You can try as hard as you want. I used to like him, but you can try as hard as you want to try and make me like this guy. I just can't. All right. This guy is a 7-time world champion, and he's probably one of the biggest silks in professional sport going around. He gets out there and he goes, the interview's pretty much finished. Steps back and he looks at Max, and the crowd's cheering him because I don't think they actually realized what he was saying, and everyone was just up and about. I think they were just cheering for the fact that Max beat Lewis. And he goes, "Oh, I've got to start calling Max Noah." Yeah, just listen to what I'm saying, because he did call him Noah. Because every car, all the markers of the cars behind when you overlap, they just parted for him, and he just drove past them. And I didn't get that luxury today on the track. Now, after that came out of his mouth, Sauce, my reaction, I turned for the worst. I may have turned like something snapped in my brain, and I may or may not have just lost the plot on that podcast. If you want to see it, by all means, go listen to it and watch it. First and foremost, Sauce, last time I checked, for a guy that I'm not going to get into that, but last time I checked, the reference is Moses parted the sea. All right. Noah fucking built an ark and put 2 of every animal on it because there was floods last time I checked. All right.
So you're saying if you're going to say it, at least get it right.
Get it right. All right. Second of all, you're a 7-time world champion and you're complaining about that. Mate, you did not even get a look in for the whole race. You did not have a look in. You did
Not only in qualifying was he off the speed, but on the race he was off the speed, Doma.
Sauce. You know
For
what
that,
to do.
Mr. Lewis Hamilton, for being an absolute whining little sook, you are this week's Lemon! Flash that bad boy up. Lewis Hamilton. 7-time world champion, biggest sook in the sport. This is why Michael Schumacher is still the GOAT.
I've got nothing to say. Like that. Well, I did have something to say, and I just said it. That's pretty much it. Like, I was blown away. Honestly, I was blown away, Sauce. I was blown away. All right, Sauce. Before we get into hobby talk, you know what we do. Play our little promo from our good friends and affiliate, Cardladder.
Imagine everything you love about the hobby in the palm of your hand. An entire store at your fingertips. Everything you need to know about cards is within your grasp. Unlock the secrets of the hobby. Plus, so much more. You don't have to imagine anymore. It's here. Cardladder. Get the app today.
Bang. We're back. Thank you very much for that, Cardladder. Hobby talk, Sauce. Blockchain. We're back on it. I'll get this up on screen, which will help. We do have a new segment in Hobby Talk coming up called Started from the Bottom. Now we're here. We will get to that very, very soon. Let's have a look what we've got here, Sauce. We've got a Luke of the Don logo, man, and not for anything. Like we said, it's starting to annoy us a bit. They all stickers again. Yeah. They are all stickers this week, Sauce. Every single one of them. Logo Man auto, Luke of the Don. Then we've got a dual Logo Man auto of LaMelo and Wiseman. We've got a Zach Wilson collegiate tag auto. We've got a Joe Burrow NFL patch star auto. Ja Morant 101 Logo Man. We've got an Anthony Edwards NBA laundry tag auto. Devin Booker Logo Man. Tyreek Hill brand logo star auto. Then we've got Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball Legends patch auto. I do like that card, Sauce. It's pretty. He's got a sick auto. That Ken Griffey auto is mint. Too bad it's on a sticker. Obi Toppin Logo Man auto. Andrew Vaughn laundry tag auto. Jason Tatum laundry tag. Then we've got a Joe Adele star laundry tag auto. Tyrese Halliburton, Logo Man auto, DeAndre Swift, patch star auto, a Chase Claypool, patch star auto, and one for Saucy, a NFL Shield legendary auto of Peyton Manning.
Ooh, that's nice, except it's a sticker. But look, it's still a nice card. But yeah, I think it's unfortunate, Dom. I keep saying it, there's only one of this damn card. Just get the card out to the player, get him to sign it. Please, Panini, please. Jeez, you put it on Dutch auction, you pay this much money, and you're getting a sticker whacked on it. It's just as bad as them whacking stickers on National Treasures when it's supposed to be their most premium product.
100%. All right, Sauce. An interesting one now coming up that we're going to discuss. I know we spoke about Fanatics 2 weeks ago. A good friend, Lukey, Mass Sports Cards, sent through this article. And I wanted to just go through it.
Yeah, interesting stuff in here. So this is why we wanted to bring it up, because I'm not sure if anyone you may or may not have this article may or may not have crossed your path in recent weeks. When was this article written?
It was on the 1st of September, so about a week and a bit ago. So I'll put this in. Feel free to follow along if you want to. I've just chucked it in the chat. And by all means, if you have any questions regarding this, please fire them our way and we will answer them on the spot here right now. But it is $18 billion online. This was on CNBC on their website. $18 billion online retailer Fanatics shocked the sports world with its MLB trading card deal. Here's what's next ahead of its expected IPO. Lukey forgot about it. We didn't, mate. Don't worry. Online sports merchandising company Fanatics shocked the baseball world last month after it secured trading card rights for the MLB, NFL, and NBA. Most notably, Fanatics' deal with MLB terminated the league's decade-long partnership with Topps and possibly caused the end of Topps' plan to go public through a SPAC. The string of deals highlights how Fanatics under CEO Michael Rubin plans to expand beyond sportswear and into collectibles, sports betting, and even broadcasting games. It's already attracted big-name investors such as Jay-Z to go along with its $18 billion private valuation ahead of an anticipated IPO. So obviously that's it there. Terminated the league sting. Panini, which had the NFL trading card license since 2016 and the NBA license since 2009, will lose the rights to Fanatics. The string of deals highlights how Fanatics under CEO plans to expand beyond everything else. As I mentioned, here's how they landed the partnerships and what it means for the company moving forward. Now, this is the very interesting part. Fanatics adding another piece to the puzzle. Rubin's move ends some historic sports partnerships, which the NBA already proved aren't carved in stone. In May 2020, the NBA dropped basketball maker Spalding, a partner for more than 30 years, and linked with Wilson to manufacture its basketballs. Sports leagues like Fanatics moat around its products, and the company is already aligned with most leagues and teams to manufacture soft goods and hard goods merchandise, including sports jerseys. The pandemic forced all leagues to re-examine business deals and maximize profits over they looked substantial losses. Fanatics also had to rethink business as live sporting events were suspended early in the pandemic. According to people familiar with Fanatics plans, the company contemplated expanding last summer to add more pillars to its operation. Fanatics already dominates vertical and e-commerce in sports, mainly with MLB rights, but it also saw the opportunity in the card market. Fanatics declined to comment on this story. Now, here's the interesting one. The sports trading card business is projected to reach $98.7 billion by 2027, according to verified market research. In 2021, the sector has been especially active with the 1914 Babe Ruth card setting a record. Even Luka, the Shisha Don rookie, setting an auction record. Also, there's Luka the Don. I don't think that was an auction. It was a private sale. But besides the point, the guy that wrote the article is the professional, so I shouldn't be questioning him. Entering the business of trading cards also aligns with Fanatics' plans to build its name in the NFT collectible sector through Candy Digital, which is already a branch in.
There's another article there which you can click on and read a bit more about that as well, which is interesting.
In your own time, definitely go ahead and read this. I'll chuck this in the comments. Also, there you go. To secure the new deals, Fanatics provided equity to leagues and player unions that is guaranteed to bring at least $1 billion in revenue over the duration of the partnerships. Leagues do not have equity in their current deals with trading card companies. Fanatics' plan for the physical trading card space is to expand by opening the market to leverage it more via direct-to-consumer offerings, according to people familiar with the matter. For example, should collectors purchase a trading card, they'll be able to, here's the kicker, insure the asset, grade the card, store the card, and even put them on a marketplace to sell or trade, all through Fanatics. The company would likely collect transaction fees, and leagues will also get valued data they crave. Speculation on Wall Street suggests Fanatics will also attempt to buy one of the trading card companies. Panini is valued at $1.3 billion, according to PitchBook, and there are other firms, Upper Deck and Texas-based Leaf trading cards. Acquiring the competition, the rest of it is just other business things, prices, stocks, this and that. Anyway, this is the main part right here, source. This paragraph right here is everything in this. Now, so Jay says Luka was a private transaction, not a sale. Fake. Yeah, it was a private transaction, correct. Jay said direct to bots. I almost forgot Fanatics used to have slabs. Now, interesting enough, Sauce, you came up with a little plan for another company that happens to be the #1 marketplace for selling cards. And just run that past, because there's going to be a lot of competition in 2026. I know they got time, but time should
They
be
got
used
time.
wisely.
Yeah, and if I was this platform, and the platform we're talking about is eBay, I would create another website called ebaycards.com and make it a specific platform for people buying and selling trading cards. You know, obviously you're targeting all trading cards, not just sports cards. But get off eBay altogether and create a separate platform directly for people to buy and sell cards, right? I feel like that would be the move. With Fanatics coming in, if they turn around and decide to create their own marketplace, what's to say that people don't start using Fanatics, Fanatics marketplace to buy and sell? And I'm not saying eBay is going to die in the ass, but if it's convenient to more convenient for people to sell there,
People love convenience.
and do stuff like they're able to store the cards there, much similar to like a star stock system where you buy and sell the card and it's instantly digitally in your collection and digitally out of your collection, and there's no chargebacks and none of that return rubbish. Once you sell it, you sell it. It's going to create an interesting dynamic that I feel that other marketplaces might take a hit. So if I was eBay, I'd be thinking, wisely. They are doing things like creating their market research tool, and they've got all that data, so they can really, expand on that. But yeah, I feel like if there was any time for them to make a specific card designated sector, now would be the time to get the head up, the one up on Fanatics, so that when they do end up dropping their sort of marketplace, they're behind the 8 ball. But I find it very interesting that, imagine that Fanatics is pretty much just a one-stop shop for everything trading cards and memorabilia, sporting memorabilia especially. So, yeah, I think, well, mainly sporting cards. Mainly sporting cards. They're obviously not going after, the other trading card sector. But yeah, it'll be pretty crazy. And look, I don't mind that there's going to be a bit of a shake-up, because I hope that means that pushes some of the companies that are out there now to innovate and be better. Which is what we've seen with grading companies is, one grading company coming out and bringing, software and unbiased grading, and, other grading companies sort of following suit and implementing sort of software and other practices to help with their grading. So yeah, innovation and company competition is good for the hobby, pushes the other companies to be better. But yeah, and it'll just be interesting to see how this plays out. I just thought it was so interesting to read that, especially the direct to consumer, which was something that we spoke about, Dom, when we first put our takes out on the Lockdown Lounge with the initial news, was about the fact that with Josh Luber's ties with StockX, they've already got the infrastructure that they already got the infrastructure to sort of do it, but he already got the know-how to implement something within Fanatics to do that sort of direct to consumer, and potentially take out some of the distributors. There was an interesting conversation in the DM group about, will this be the death of LCSs? I don't think so. I think this just enhances LCS's mainstay in the hobby. I don't think they're going anywhere. I feel like it could be direct from Fanatics to LCS and cut out the distribution channel, or some of them.
Yeah, I'm not
possibly.
I'm not convinced on that. I think there still be distribution channels. I just think that there'll be a large, if they do go towards this direct to consumer approach, I just think there'll be a larger quantity that is literally in stock on their website. Whether they got bots there that get them, Jay, it's just that's how it is. What are you going to do? The difference between Fanatics' website and something like a Kmart over here or a Target is Target and Kmart here is directly targeted mostly by, pardon the pun, by Australians. And over on the Fanatics website, it's going to be targeted globally. That's going to be the difference. So everyone's going to be going for it at once. So the website more likely than not will be crashing on its first drop. It would not surprise me. But it is very interesting being able to ensure creating a vault over there as well within Fanatics. They're pretty much doing everything that is being offered in the hobby at the moment and bringing it under one centralized umbrella. The grading is so interesting. What it does, who knows? PSA, really, it's not going to affect them, I don't think, in the grading space. HGA, time will tell. They've got 5 years. But the one that
they're going to make Fanatics grading, you believe?
Yeah, well, that's what it said here. Ensure the asset, grade. Grade means grade the card. Store and even put them
Maybe
on the
they
marketplace.
link up with another, link up with a grading company, and obviously their cards get preferential treatment because they're coming direct from Fanatics. I don't know.
I'll put it up on the screen.
Fanatics did have slabs. As Pedro said, they did have a slabs at some point where you could get Fanatics slabs. So
this is who they should buy. Rightio. This is who they should buy. Straight out, this is who they should buy. And
yeah, the word is Beckett trying to buy other companies. I heard Dr. James Beckett on a wax museum podcast speaking with the lad on there, and he's saying that they're trying to acquire other companies. I believe. I think I heard that correctly. So yeah, funny enough, Doma. And don't get me started. I did put a post out about Beckett, and their whole fake slabs fiasco. I believe everyone's just forgotten about that. They literally have the fake slab thing came out, and they literally have not done anything at all to change their slab or do anything to protect the integrity of their slabs and graded cards, which just baffles me, Doma. For a company of that size and that stature, the fact that they haven't done anything to ensure that their cards or slabs cannot be duplicated.
Why are you surprised in that? I'm not. I'm not in disbelief over that. I would love, honestly, I'll reach out to Dr. James Beckett. I'd love to get him on the show. And we'd straight out say to him, we have been so critical on Beckett, like so critical. And we'd love to hear your thoughts on it. We understand that you haven't got like all the decision-making power, but we'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I've heard a lot of other people say they've spoken to him about that, and he just gives on-the-fence answers. And so we might not get anywhere with that, but it would be nice to have him on there. Pedro said, don't forget fake stickers in real slabs. Beckett has a track record for years of doing that. Well, they do. Like, what are you going to do? You can't do anything about it. I don't want to turn this into a BGS rant, but I'm not surprised by them. I'm just saying it's an opportunity for them to put their hands up and say, buy us out and we can help you with the technology in terms of slabs and labels and the history to preserve it. Because I'm telling you, Fanatics bring out slabs and they're A1. They're very good. Fanatics will be just right there with PSA, and they'll just burn straight past BGS and leave them in the dust. And if you want to preserve that brand and that name, they have to do something. Jay says, why Sauce? They don't care, nor does PSA. Mate, Jay, we might keep this to next week. We will keep it to next week because the topic of the show next week is going to be, do we actually need grading companies? Is it all a scam? And Saucy can just sit here for 30 minutes and give you his beliefs on that because he's got merit in some of his arguments. Jay says, they are private companies and not answerable to anyone. Why do you think they let themselves get bought out? Yeah, fair call. Beckett Marketplace is great for loose raw cards and cheap. Very nice, Pedro. Like the tip. Very good. All right, Sauce. Let's move on before we get into some more drama. Like, I can't believe it's drama. But besides the point, let's have a look at Donruss football. We just look at the preview over here. I'll get it back up on the screen. This is coming out. It's got one of my favorite types of cards in this. Don't know why it's not on the advert. A bit surprised on that. But here it is, the quality control in the 2021 Donruss football. On average, each hobby box has 10 cards per pack, 18 packs per box, 18 boxes per case. They will deliver 1 auto, 1 mem card, 18 rated rookies, 12 parallels, and 42 inserts. Additional highlights of the product include a 400 card set that includes 250 base, 50 base photo variations, and 100 rated rookies. Chase the iconic rated rookies from the top up and coming stars of the NFL, including Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and many more. Donruss football is loaded with tons of stunning inserts, autographs, and mem cards, including Road to the Super Bowl, The Champ is Here, Fans of the Game, Power Formulas, and more. Hunt for the hobby exclusive short print inserts in Marvels, Rated Rookie, Premium, and Night Moves. Look for hobby-only mem cards that parallel to rare auto versions in the Jersey Kings, Leather Kings, Rookie Phenom Jersey Autos, All-Pro Kings, and more. And here is some of the cards in this set. Sticker dump as it is, Sauce. You just got to live with that. This guy's going to be a star. Jalen Waddle for the Dolphins. Mac Jones over here. There's the Marvel. The Marvels actually look really nice, Sauce. I rate them.
Very nice.
With the refractor. Then we got Downtown, which I love. Champ is here. Zach Wilson autos. Some more Marvels. The Jersey Kings is very nice. Nice looking card. There's a Saquon Barkley Downtown. That's a clean card. This one here, Sauce. Very clean card. That's nice. TJ Watt, Downtown.
Downtowns. They love milking the downtowns, eh?
Yeah, they're sick, but not that I've got one yet. There's a few more here. Rated rookies, Jalen Waddle, Kyle Trask. There we go. Josh Allen. Some nice looking cards in here, Sauce. Give him that. These are nice.
I don't
These
mind.
Jersey
Look,
Kings.
I don't mind the
These are
Donruss.
nice.
I don't mind the
It's your
rated
boy.
rookies.
You got to buy these.
Who's
You got to
that?
buy these. Kirk Cousins. You got to buy that.
You like that? You like that?
I do like that.
I knew it was coming. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these, to be honest. Passing the torch. Piece of the ball there. Nice. Some autos. Here's some more Downtowns. Mac Jones. Justin Fields. Trey Lance. Jamar Chase. Jalen Waddle. That's a nice one. I like that. Trevor Lawrence. Jerry Rice Downtown. Very nice. Pat Mahomes. Tom Brady. And we've got more and more and more and more cards here. We'll just see if there's any more. That's it. There you go. My homeboy there on the Action All Pro in the Retro Series, Barry Sanders. Very nice, Sauce. Nice little set coming out. Stay tuned for that. Now, before we do get to started from the bottom, now we are here. Interesting stuff has transpired, Sauce, and I know it has been slow in the hobby. And we've come out and we've found things to talk about. We've spoken about Fanatics, we've looked at this Donruss, and we're going to then go to Sauceys Smokey, and we're going to do started from the bottom. Now we're here. They've got a tier system coming out on Crunch Time this week for some product. We spoke about cards on Soccer Card Collective. There's heaps of stuff to talk about, so we don't need to cause drama. But, a bit of drama came up last week. I'll let Anth speak for himself on Crunch Time coming up this weekend. But that's not the one I want to talk about. So interestingly enough, CardPorn came out with a post last night in regards to influencers being paid in the hobby and therefore potentially being the type of people that, are beholden to say things without giving a true reflection on their thoughts. And they were pretty harsh on them. I will bring it up and I will read it out. And it caused a few people to get, visibly annoyed. And not for anything, tagged absolutely every single person source. And who they're affiliated with. So it's not exactly the greatest thing. I'll bring it up here. Here it is. I didn't comment on this. I just put something in our story instead, source. When the influencers get paid to influence you. As our hobby becomes increasingly popular and big business come in wanting a piece of the pie, we're seeing more and more hobby influencers being paid or receiving some other form of in-kind benefit to endorse and promote these companies. Collectible app in particular have been going on an influencer buying spree lately, now sponsoring LTB, Sports Card Nonsense, and J Lee Sports Cards Live to run a specific segment about collectible every week. A bit of fractional overkill if you ask us. Do we want to stop there, source, and just say these people are not into fractional and they're butthurt about it and they just don't want to hear that stuff? Like, you got to have variety in the hobby. That's my thoughts. A non-exhaustive list of some of these influencers, sponsors, and influencers who receive paid ad spots are as follows. So I'm not going to read them out. They're on there. If you want to go check it out, check it out. All right. They've been named. CardPorn things they've named and shamed. Anyway. These influencers will likely say they only agreed to take on these sponsorships on the basis that they could still speak their mind, in quotation marks, when it comes to their sponsors and related content. However, we all know they are not going to go out of their way to talk negatively about their sponsor at the risk of losing the sponsorship. Similarly, they may defend a sponsor or stay silent on a particular issue or topic that involves their sponsor to ensure their weekly paycheck keeps coming. That's just human nature. How do these hobby navigate these influencers and their opinions as it applies to their sponsors? We get that these influencers put in time and effort to create their content, and we have no issue with them making money in the process. You do. However, many of us followed these influencers in the beginning for their unique point of view and unbiased opinion. With sponsors now paying them to endorse their offerings, it's almost certain that influencers' formerly unbiased opinion will become less so, especially as it applies to their sponsors. Do we assume that anything these influencers say or don't say about their sponsors will be biased in nature and ignore those opinions? And remember, the product is free. You are the product. Obviously, Cage wrote something very nice there. Drop that a like right here. How have I not liked that? Goldberg pretty much had a crack at him, which is at them. Sorry, it's at them. Apologies. We don't even know if it's a he or a she or we don't because they're just hiding behind the account. Besides the point. So your thoughts on that, source? I know we were more annoyed at the fact of a lot of people in our circle, that we're close with, were pretty annoyed with it at the fact of there's nothing happening in the hobby yet. It's just trying to roll up some stuff. I understand the viewpoint in terms of thinking that people are just going to keep pumping their sponsors and not giving a shit if they do anything wrong and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm indifferent. I was a bit shocked by it.
Do we expect anything different really from CardPorn at this point? This is what they do. You remember the early days of this, and I would say, look, CardPorn's really helpful because they're obviously they're providing content. I mean, not it's their own content. They're getting some of the stuff off blowout forums, like on fake slabs and all this sort of stuff, and it's helpful, right? And I was very boisterous about CardPorn. They post cool hits and that sort of stuff, but lately they've gone down the road of just slandering people severely, and it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I mean, the one good thing that they did was expose alt, so they do some things that are good, exposing,
I'm not saying that
right?
they don't do.
But also, how about like all those people that have put in literally hours of their own time to provide content for people in this hobby to, have something to listen to that they love and enjoy, hobby content. And yeah, so they get rewarded a bit with some sponsors and affiliates or whatever it may be. I mean, we're affiliated with Cardladder. If people sign up through our link, which if you don't have Cardladder, make sure you go down below in the description and sign up under our link so we get a little kickback. But we're out here saying, yeah, we get a kickback. And so what? Like we come in front end and behind all the scenes work. We've created a Discord. We created a community, and we interact with people daily. And, we love doing it. We do it all out of the love of the hobby. But, should we get something back in return? Well, we didn't ask for anything for 12 months, Doma. Yeah, like we put in the hard yards. And if you, like in the terms of like our friends at LTB, putting in the work and fronting up every day and editing content, I mean, it doesn't happen by itself. Yeah. And to get a little bit of reward in return, so be it. So be it. Now, if they turn around and you can visibly see them, not talking bad about certain companies or not saying how it really is, and they are really shilling their sponsors, even though their sponsors are doing things that aren't visibly, ethical or whatever it may be. Yeah, sure, they're going to look like lemons, right? Should they be worried about you losing the sponsor? Hell no, because they did it for 12 months without any sponsor for free. Yeah, and you're still going to be able to do it. So, like, I feel that there is a point where you do have to, as content creators, you have to, still be able to speak and speak out on things and say what you want to say. Obviously, it's a fine line once you start taking a paycheck, but at the end of the day, or getting any sort of revenue or compensation for sponsorship within the show. But also maybe that means you're not aligning with the right sponsors, because if your sponsor doesn't allow you to do that and doesn't know your true beliefs and how you want to run your show, at the end of the day, you put in the effort and the time to build this platform for yourself, and for the other people that listen to you, then maybe you're just not aligning with the right sponsors. So, I think these people are wise enough out there, and they hopefully align with the right sponsors that allow them to still speak their mind. There's nothing worse than a sponsor trying to censor you. I mean, if that does happen, if we get, sponsors on this show, Doma, and they don't allow us to say certain things, we'll tell them to go get fucked, and we'll cut the sponsorship. We don't give a shit. Yeah, because we've done this for free for how long? All right, we still don't get paid a cent. Yeah,
No,
that's why go sign up for Cardladder underneath. In the description, so we do get paid something back. And at the end of the day, whatever we make, it's not much. Yeah, it's not much. It's not, we still got a full-time job and daily work and to do all that stuff in between. Yeah, we get out here in front of the camera on a Wednesday evening, and then the other shows that we put in and try to grow a community. If you aren't in the Discord, make sure you get in it. I'll put the link in the description, so if you're listening back on audio, go check it out. But yeah, Doma, look, I'm sort of sick and tired of CardPorn, man. Like, we know that they're having a crack at Anth and his F1 takes, and I feel that at points it's just they just get bored, man. They just get bored.
The thing with that though is as well, Sauce, like Anth did instigate that, but as a joke. I'll be honest, yeah, no, I don't hide anything from anyone. I got pretty pissed off about it the moment after, like, not for anything, they created a whole banter train, Anthem CardPorn regarding F1, and that was fine. Yeah, like, it was all good, and CardPorn was pushing us to give Anthem one of the week and do all this stuff, and we came out on this podcast and we said there's no chance in hell that CardPorn's going to tell us who we can and can't give the Le Mans of the week to, you know. But this time around, I kind of did get annoyed. I've spoken with CardPorn. I converse with them. I definitely do. I'm not going to say I don't. Wasn't happy with them, honestly, because of the fact that they posted stuff in their story and then they did take it down. And the fact that, like, doing this and having our umbrella, this is the best way to describe it. Having Ant and Lukey and like Azuro and Maddie, Steven, I'm trying to see, hopefully I don't forget anyone. And like, we've got other people too that are pretty much under that banner. Like, we've got Vincent on one of our on our podcasts, and now we're going to get Cooper to start doing some features with us, Cardboard Cooper. And not for anything, all our friends that we made, whether it's those people under Coverage.Media or people that are in our DMs and people that we know overseas, and you look at them as like your family that you've built during this time, during COVID. And not for anything, we speak to these people probably a lot more than we speak to a lot of other people, and it's daily. Daily, we're in the chat. There's people here in the chat right now. We speak to them daily. And it hurts, man. It hurts when they come out as an account. They pulled it down because they obviously knew they were out of line. But yeah, all right, we're taking the joke of questioning Ant with the F1. That's fine. But the fact that they took it and questioned him and his soccer content about cards that he had listed, and he was pumping and dumping soccer cards, and they pulled that down. But shit like that, in my opinion, is not on, because not for anything. I can guarantee you, unless I'm going to make the assumption, because you haven't shown your face and you've been cowards and you've hidden behind that fact, but you wouldn't know fuck all compared to what Ant does in the soccer space. You probably rely on people like us and other soccer content creators to actually get your information. You definitely rely on us to get your F1 content, as well as guys like Lou now and probably Sasha T, because once we pretty much debunked your theory that it was getting pumped and dumped, you went on a nice run there where you were actually posting really nice, heartwarming things about soccer and F1 and stuff like that. So my thing to you is, like, they've built up a cult following. They definitely have built up a cult following. And these people have got in DMs of Ant. I'm not going to fucking shy away from it. They got in and they said, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, 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 blah. Because they follow CardPorn. They're following like mythical creatures source, like that they don't even know the
unicorn.
Unicorn. Like, it literally is. It's the fucking Loch Ness monster of the card hobby, mate. You don't even know if they actually exist, these people, because they're too afraid to show their face. And, they say, we like conducting our stuff anonymously. But when you can't put a face to the name, and where's your credibility? How the fuck did you get a blue tick? I know people say, but blue tick, it means nothing. Well, it does, because people come to the hobby, and once they see a blue tick on an account, they think they're the be-all and end-all. They're not a watchdog. They do things that are brilliant in terms of finding fake cards and cut cards and fake slabs, and they do brilliant things, and they show highlights of hobbies and the really high parts of the hobby, which is like really nice hits and great things happening to people out there in the hobby. But they do stuff as low as this shit, which I don't like. And not for anything, Sauce, this is like directed at CardPorn. I'm not going to give him Le Mans of the week. I'm more just severely disappointed in them. I don't care if you've got 30,000 people following you. We've got 1,200 people following us. I'll tell you what, a hell of a lot of people out there in the hobby probably respect us a lot more than your account. Because we front up, like Sauce said, every week. All these other people like Jay Lee, LTB, Card Talk, everyone else in the hobby, they front up and they're open with it, and it's a joyful part of the hobby. But the thing is, Sauce, when you hide behind literally an account and you're a keyboard warrior, as much as you think you're doing great, you're doing some bad things at times as well. And it's not us. People might say, oh, you got to be careful. They're a big account. No, I disagree. To CardPorn, honestly, don't bite the hand that feeds you. We're the ones that feed you. Your account would be nothing without hits, with any of that content, without blowout forums and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking of just starting my own CardPorn Instagram account and just actually going, being the face of it. We'll be the face of it. We'll call it CardPorn with a 0 instead of a O. I tried to create one today. I was like, let's create one and just
can you put a lemon emoji with the O's?
Yeah, that's what you should do. I mean, I say we should just start another one. I'll tell you what we should do. We should get everyone out there to just report the account, and they'll probably get shut down. But I don't want to do that because they'll probably end up doing that to me. But it's just ridiculous. And I do say this. They do some good things, and we've said this, Dom. They do some really good things. But when they stoop this low, we go, how bored must you be? And then when we invite you to come on the show and we'll say, don't worry, you can black out your camera. Just come on with voice. Yeah. You can change your voice, but come on and have a debate and give us some reasoning, and they told the whole thing about, pumping F1 cards. And the funny thing is they bring up a PSA 10 base Lewis Hamilton as their example. Now tell me which in any market that any base cards have not taken a hit. Tell me, Doma. I'll wait here and wait for you to tell me. And anyone who wants to come and tell me, every base card in every market has gone down once it skyrockets. It just happens. Now, go get me some numbers on refractors. Go get me some numbers on numbered stuff. Yeah? Then Sapphire, come back and speak to me.
Come back to me on Sapphire base. Sapphire base. Come to me on that stuff. But besides the point, if you want to be this account, the all-encompassing god of the hobby, if that's what you want to be, by all means, you can be that. But you know what you should be doing instead? You should be pumping up different parts of the hobby. You know what I mean? Because there's something out there for everyone, as we always say in the hobby. There's always something out there. Whether you like tennis, where you put a post where people are throwing tennis cards in the bin, or it's F1 that these people love and you're ragging on F1. It's soccer cards these people love, and you're ragging on that because you're uninformed on it. So, if I'm uninformed, what's the best option? Let's just bag it. Like, how about you reach out to people that actually know this shit and they can actually help educate you? It's clearly shown that your team of merry men and women over there at CardPorn are clearly not versed or educated in different facets of the hobby. That's what it tells me. You are literally baseball, basketball, football. Everything else after that, it's just a pump and dump scheme. That's it.
All right, Dom, let's leave it at that. I'm sick of talking about CardPorn. Fuck them, and let's move on.
That's it. Started from the bottom, now we're here, Sauce. I don't know if you came up with a matchup. If you haven't, I've got one anyway in the back of my mind. But we are we're going on Cardladder. We're going to use this awesome platform. And what we're going to do is, started from the bottom, now we're here, is pretty much saying a modern guy, which is starting from the bottom, working their way towards the top of their career. So comparing them to a vintage player in any market. It can be footy, soccer, NFL, hockey, wrestling. It can be absolutely anything. I don't know if Saucy's got something for us. If he doesn't, I've got something. He does. He's got something. He's got the eyebrows going. He's got something. He doesn't have something.
No, I do.
Yeah, all right. Beautiful. So we'll see what he's got. We'll go through a bit of an explanation, and then we'll get into Sauceys Smokey. I want to see who he's got here.
All right, Doma. So we've got here, obviously, we're going to go with the big boy. We're going to go LaMelo Ball here, right? So obviously, he's completed his first season. This is base Prix 10, which, only has a pop of $166. But let's go have a look at this little wizardry here, growing at 64% monthly growth. If Zion's got 20,000, what the hell's this going to be? This is going to be something stupid, right? Now let's go have a look. Let's go compare it with, I went out and found a Bowman Best Kobe Bryant PSA 10, right? This is the base version. So base, right? Last sold 1,363. Last sold here 850. Now the start value was 1,500. The start value of this over 1 year ago was 1,126.
26. Sorry.
26.
36.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll go to the 6 month graph. So as you can see, the pink is the Kobe, and then this is where it gets insulting. You got the Shaquille O'Neal Topps 1992. This is his flagship card. Pop of PSA 10, pop of 3,101. It's got a population growth. It's growing only at 4% a month, right? So yeah, it will get up there, but this card will not even get close at all to what LaMelo is going to end up at, right? Now, one guy's got 4 championships. One guy's got a Rookie of the Year award, right? Kobe, obviously we know what Kobe's done. And now I chose this card because the Topps card is like, ridiculously priced, but the pop's even higher. Now this pop is only 1,308. It's growing at 1.87% a month on the population growth. And I just feel at that price point, I mean, if you go back 6 months ago, this was at a $3,800 card, in comparison of what he's actually done, for it to now be a $1,300 card. I think it's definitely a buy. I mean, it was way back. And if you go here, what's 1,360? And then before the GOAT run up, you're getting them under 1,000. But the fact that now it's settled down and sort of only $300 to $400 more than what you could have got it back in December last year, after it had the GOAT run up, which we know, which was in February, March. I mean, I think that's a crazy good buy where you're comparing that with the LaMelo Ball. You're pretty much saying for an extra $500, I'm going to get a Kobe Bryant with only a pop of 1,300. This LaMelo Ball is going to end up with a pop of 20,000. Let's be honest, right? And
more than likely.
More than likely. And I think, how we've got to this point is beyond me, Doma. How we've got where LaMelo Ball is selling for $850. Anyone who's buying it at this price, you are a buffoon. You are a complete buffoon. All right. So we've started from the bottom, which was, Kobe and Shaq. And now we're here paying $850 for a LaMelo Ball base prison PSA 10. If you're doing that, you might soon be you might soon be winning the Le Mans of the week if you're buying the PSA 10 at that price. We'll find out anyone's done that. If you see anyone who's been buying them at 850, nominate them for the Le Mans of the week. Because, let's be honest, give me what you're going to get 3 of these, Doma, for that price. Shaquille O'Neal, Topps, PSA 10s. It's only a pop report of 3,101. Yeah, I understand.
Got my 8.5. I got a Shaq 8.5 coming. Got to pick it up off you, actually. But I know, but I'm happy with that.
So that's the one that I came up with today, and I just want to compare a few. This is the Bowman's best pop report, super low. I don't think
for Kobe. That's actually pretty good.
I know it's very good. Number of sales in the last year, 195 according to their records. 467 of the Shaq. The Shaq is an interesting one. Obviously it was as high as when in the GOAT run up, you could have been selling them for 1,600, 1,700. And now what? They're back down to 280. Even before that, they weren't even that cheap. Jeez, they're really down. That Shaquille O'Neal PSA 10 is a massive buy at the moment, I feel.
It's down a lot.
It's down massively. Crazy. The last 3 months. Yeah. Down $43 last 3 months. And then the last 6 months, it's down $629. 69% in the last 6 months down. Wow. Crazy.
Very nice. Perfect. All right, Sauce. Sauceys Smokey to finish it off. If there's anything...
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how we're going to go. I haven't been purchasing much, but there's one thing that I've been having a look at. It's been, I'm getting more into just solidifying my collection. Yeah. Not worrying about, speculative rookies. Although, I've got my guy this year and it's Patrick Williams. I've spoken about that a number of times and I don't not messing around buying, this, prism that, prism this. Go get a couple of nice autos and lock them in and put them away. But Kevin Durant. Now I'll bring it up here. All right, let's share. Bring it up.
Just gone bang. I thought he was going to give us nothing there, and he's just
Right.
come out and gone.
Kevin Durant. I feel his autos, just his autos in general, are pretty cheap. I mean, this is an
$75.
This is an optic. No, that's a Karis LeVert. That's so this is an optic dominator rookie. Now it's numbered to 48. It says here numbered to 48. I think it's unless this guy's talking porkies. Right? Let's double check this. It is, right? Numbered to 49, not 48. Now that's sold on bids. Mind you, that's on card, Doma. That's not a sticker. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, that's on card.
Yeah.
Sold for $183. I mean, people out here spending that money, buying national treasures of guys like, guys just stupid money on national treasures of freaking guys like Kenyon Martin Jr. Although I love him, is he ever going to be as good as Kevin Durant? No chance in hell, right? I went through. There's a few other ones. I mean, here's a sticker one. That's a sticker auto. And I've just gone through and just looking at some of the pricing. I mean, this is actually a rookie auto, 2007, Topps Finest.
That's
it's a sticker.
Nice.
It's a PSA 9. I mean, yeah, it's $700. But what I'm saying is not even just rookie autos, just his autos in general. I mean, there's some the other day that I was seeing for 200. Here you go. There's a Lux, right? Let's bring this up. A Lux auto. This is on bids. That's nice. On card. That's on card, ladies and gents. Number to 35. Okay. Number to 35. His jersey's 35. So there's an eBay 1 of 1. Not really. But it's I just feel his autos at the moment are very affordable. And why wouldn't you want to, like, I understand he's a snake, I understand his whole persona. I get it, right? I get it. So people don't like him, he's a sook, whatever, right? He's still going to go down as a top 10 player to ever play in this league, yeah? Like, I don't care what people say, right? He's still that good, right? He's an unbelievable talent. I don't think we'll ever see another guy at his size with potentially that sort of range shooting, mid-range shooting again. We may. This was the one that I actually was about to buy, Doma. I was about to buy this. It ended up going for $250 on best offer. And I'm spewing because I was about to buy this card.
That's nice.
Yeah, like number to 199 on card. I love the MVP contenders. I've got a Giannis one that I'm looking to move. So if anyone's wanting to buy, it's a SGC 9.5 graded. Yeah, so I think Kevin Durant autos right now are a buy. Autos in general, I don't know. Here's a nice Cornerstones one. I'm not 100% sure what that went for. There's no, I don't know the best offer price. But yeah, there's definitely some stuff out there, Doma. Kevin Durant autos that you can pick up that are good. And I'm all for, like, potentially, buying guns. Yeah, like I don't mind. I buy some spuds. Don't get me wrong, Doma. Like, I buy some guys who, not spuds, but aren't going to be
PC, mate.
Yeah, just because I want them in my PC. But I'm also into buying, top talent guys. Yeah. So yeah, I think at the moment Kevin Durant autos are a play, man. I really think they're definitely a good price and good value point.
Very nice, beautiful. Well, that's another show done. I will go through a few of these quickly before we do finish up. Dan Howe Cards was in here. He said, "How do I cop one of the shirts, Doma? Take my money." Pedro says, "You should get jerseys to match the double coverage logo, blank Vice Heat jerseys." Don't worry,
Yeah.
we've thought about that.
We've thought about the jerseys. We've thought about beanies. I think beanies might be a play.
Beanies,
maybe
yeah.
hats. We don't know. Get in our DMs. If it's something that you want to see, let us know. Send us a message.
Better
We'll
yet,
find-
get in the Discord.
Get in the Discord. That's right. Get in the Discord, Doma. If you're not in the Discord, make sure you get in there. I'll chuck it in the comments. So if you actually want to go in there right now.
If you are in there, share it.
Yep.
Buy,
Invite
sell,
people.
trade. Buy, sell, trade for so many things. Buy, sell, trade for wax. There's general chats for every sport, pretty much. If you want something added, DM Sauce and I, we will add it. There's NFTs. If you're into that type of thing, it's down there.
That was just the regular tops,
Just the
Pedro.
regular
It was
top.
just the regular tops, not the tops golds. I think about 2.2, but it's very, very low pop, and obviously we know that's the case. But let's be honest, that LaMelo base PSA 10 is going to end up more than that Shaq.
KD
Tops.
best in the league right now. Positive vibes says, but it's arguable between him and Giannis. It's fair enough.
Yep.
Well, that's the show. We'll see what happens with merchandise. Hopefully by Hobby Hangout next year, we have our supplier ready. And
that was the
raw
plan,
to go.
Doma. That was the plan, wasn't it? We were going to bring it to Hobby Hangout. We were going to launch it there, and whatever didn't, we were going to sell it, to people online. Unfortunately, we're just not permitted to because of issues and restrictions. We weren't able to get Hobby Hangout happening. So, but yeah, that is the plan moving forward to get that stuff organized for that event, and then have stuff that eventually we do actually have a website. It's just up to your boy here to get his ass moving and get it built for the fans out there and everyone. So provide even more content where people can write blogs and stuff about the hobby. So it's something within the works, as we say, and we spoke about before. We do all this, and I build all these things and do all these things, Discords and the show and building a website, and we pay for it all out of our own pocket. And I spend all of my own time doing it, and don't get paid a cent, and do it for the love of the hobby and to create content for you guys, and hope that you guys support us and keep watching our show, because look, we know that without you guys, and if you guys didn't keep tuning in and supporting us, we probably wouldn't have kept going and kept trying to push and make our content better and make our platforms and create more communities for you guys to interact with one another. So yeah, we appreciate you guys that you support us. And in return, we try to do as much as we can to create a better hobby experience for you.
That's it. Well said, Saucy. On that note, keep living, loving, and breathing sports. Double coverage. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double coverage.